Is that it? Spike and I have known each other for over 50 years. Well, we've shared an office over 50 years. We were very close. It was a small office. It was in Shepherd's Bush over a greengrocer's shop. And we had to push our way through over sacks of potatoes and cabbage and lettuce and everything. Then we had 5 steep flights of stairs to go up before we got there, but we had a secretary, which was more of a typist, except that she couldn't type. Which is probably just as well, because we didn't have a typewriter. But she was very good at making tea. So every 5 minutes she'd say, "Would like a cup?" "Yeah, we all..." So she made the tea and everything. And one day I went to the toilet, and I looked there, and down in the bowl, it's full of tea leaves. She'd emptied it, and I said, "Spike." He came over and he looked there like that, and behind her was a white face of this girl like this. And she goes to pull the chain, and Spike said, "Just a minute." And Spike went, and he looked at her, he said, "You are going on a long journey." We took her for a farewell lunch just over the road, Shepherd's Bush Green, and next to the restaurant was a funeral, undertakers. And Spike did his usual. He lay down on the pavement, hands like that, knocked on the door and said, "Shop." And it's taken over 50 years for them to somebody to answer the door. Incidentally, I said to the person, you know, from the BBC, "What do you want me to do? Just come up here?" Said, "No, you know Spike probably better than anybody. Just tell them about your life together, your ups, your downs, your laughs, your fun you had, and, you know, how was it like working with the goons, and what was the favourite character?" And I said, "How long have I got?" She said, 5 minutes. Then he died. But I said, "Well, I mean, I haven't got a watch. I don't know when I've done 5 minutes." And she said, "Don't worry, we'll let you know." That's what she said. "We'll let you know when..." Anyway, so what happened is, Spike and I, one of the day, it was a sunny day, and we walked down to the BBC. And in conclusion, I would just like to mention Norma Farnes, who was Spike's manager and mother and everything. She looked after him for over nearly 40 years. When the light was shining on Spike and the laughs were there, she was in the background, in the shadows. But if somebody said something wrong about Spike, she was right there in front, taking all the flack. And I'm sure that Spike would like me to mention Norma Farnes for what she's looked after me now. Thank you. She's looked after me now for 20 years, so I know her quite well. And lastly, all I would like to say, Spike, wherever you are, sleep well. You've earned it. Thank you.
There we go. I have a letter to read out to you from His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales.
Do I kneel down for this?
I'm in enough trouble already. I'm not going to say a word.
The Prince of Wales?
The Prince of Wales. I'm sorry I have to do this, but I know it takes a lot of impact out of it, but here we go. As someone who grew up to the sounds of the Goon Show on the steam-driven wireless, I must confess that I've been a lifelong fan of the participants in the show, and particularly of Spike Milligan.
Oh, the little grovelling bastard.
Well, OK.
Anyway.
And particularly of Spike Milligan, whose wonderfully original humour has always reduced me to helpless hysterics. It is...
Cripples. I know people who have been crippled in the wake of my humour. They're in hospital, crippled like this.
It is a... He loves you. Spike Milligan, ladies and gentlemen. Spike Milligan.
Thank you, Ed. Thanks very much. Fantastic. And that's it. Good night from me, John Sargent, and our illustrious cast. Kathy Burke, Harry Enfield, Eddie Izzard, Terry Jones, Paul Merton, Michael Palin, Stephen Tompkinson, our musicians, the John Dankworth Quintet, and of course, Jane Cleo Lane. Thank you.
Tonight, a tribute to the late Sir Edward Elgar, whose favourite instrument was the B-flat garden hose, for which he wrote many great pieces, including Underneath the Armpits, Keep My Names Away. Right.